Constructing a building for Europe represents a real challenge. Indeed, the designers must attempt to embody European values such as unity in diversity, democracy in motion, peace, power, modernity through its architecture. But they must be careful not to run the risk of impressing too much by its scale alone.
Its location, Strasbourg, Alsace, is greatly symbolical because it's at the frontier between France and Germany, and it has been a source of conflict for a long time, but now the conflict is over and the building symbolizes peace between European countries.
The arc, the dome and tower, three grand architectural figures which have a very special function. The dome stands for the amphitheater, the place where the assembly deliberates and votes. The tower stands for the private offices where the Eurodeputies work.
The arc, united the dome and the tower, is the area intended for the press and the self-restaurants. Finally, a series of walkways link the various spaces to establish a link between the public and private parts of the parliament.
The European Parliament is a good example of simplicity and complexity. It is essentially made of glass, and each building has a clear function which gives an impression of simplicity. But the fact that there is an empty space forming an ellipse in a round tower full of offices, and the fact that the apparently empty dome is in fact full with the amphitheaters is particularly complex.
The amphitheater, with 785 seats for the deputies and 650 balcony seats for visitors, is the largest in Europe. Its scale reflects perfectly its assembly function.
The ellipse of the amphitheater is mirrored by that of the agora. The amphitheater is the place where the agora becomes concrete, polemical and politic.
When looking at the facade, we get the impression that the parliament is a huge building with very small doors. The architects may have aimed at impressing people by showing the power of Europe. It also looks as if the building, and more precisely here, the tower, was unfinished. The architects may have wanted to show that Europe is still in construction, that it will be developing in the future. Indeed, other countries have joined us and we can always do more for Europe. In fact, it looks like a spiral which keeps going up and will never end.
Europe's openness to modernity and to the future is clearly visible. The architecture itself is not traditional, and inserting a giant dome inside another building is a very modern idea. What's more, through the large window panes, the designers may have wanted to convey the idea that deputies are open to the outside world and the future.
We don't see any symbolic stars, but other details like the country's flags, which represent diversity and also unity, because there is no flag bigger or smaller than the others. They are all equal.
In addition, the harmonious use of different materials, wood, glass, stone and steel, symbolizes unity in diversity. The wood may symbolize the stability, the strength of Europe, or its durability. Its warm color makes it shine like the sun. The metallic frame forms lots of interesting lines on the dome, which may stand for the many threads forming a woven tapestry, again a strong symbol.
Inside, the main street is covered with black shite tiles, unequally broken, crisscrossed with climbing vines, irrigated and lit by optic fiber cables stretched across the entire height. At each level, walkways bridge the void of this main street.
It contrasts with the other parts. It looks very natural and irregular, like a jungle.
Here, the architects may have tried to convey the ideas that Europe is worried about the preservation of nature, or that its parliament is not totally strict and inflexible. The walkway may stand for the communication between countries or between people, and the spaces of vegetation may stand for the diverse cultures of Europe, all different but living peaceful in harmony.
A large window pane opens suddenly a perspective over the water. From the outside there is a mirror effect in the water and it looks as if the building was a vision. The only thing we see are the trees and nature. So, we get the impression that the parliament is both strong, powerful and light, transparent.
The designer may have tried to convey the idea that each country depends on other countries to succeed but keeps a certain independence. These stairs may also stand for our economical and cultural exchanges inside Europe.
Such a small entrance for a huge amphitheatre. It looks as if we boarded a plane. There is a great contrast here. The designers may have wanted to impress people and highlight the importance of the Assembly's work and decisions.